Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make this lovely, fine crafted 3x3 house. If you're not sure what a 3x3 house is, basically, all it means is that this house right here would fit into this area right here, which is 3 blocks long and 3 blocks wide. And as you can see, right in the middle doesn't really leave you much room for a house. So as you might guess, the interior of this house is a little bit, well, cramped. As a matter of fact, the entire living space for this house is just down below, and it has everything that you might expect from a normal house. We have all of the things that you would need to advance your Minecraft progression, including a couple of bedrooms and, well, an additional room. You have two options to leave the house. You can either go back up the way you came, or if you come into the bedroom, we have a nice water exit, which I always like to include on all of these small houses. Plus on the inside, if you want to jump up this ladder, you can actually have access to the roof, and well, you can kind of do whatever you want up there. You've got to take the extra room wherever you can get it. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the smallest house that I have ever designed and made. And I don't think that I can actually possibly get one any smaller than this. I don't think that it's even actually conceivably possible. If you enjoy builds like this, please give this video a like. I'd really appreciate it. I made this after a lot of you cried out for it after I made my 4x4 house. And like I said, I don't think I'm going to make one any smaller. If you make this, show me a picture on Twitter, at TSMC360, follow me there, subscribe for more, and comment down below what else would you like to see next. But that is way more than enough talking, I don't want to keep you waiting. Let me show you how to build this lovely looking house. So if you want to make it, here's what you'll need. Grab yourself some dark oak slabs, some birchwood slabs, some dark oak stairs, some dark oak fence, some white stained glass, some dark oak doors, some birchwood fence, some spruce wood, and some flower pots. Now, you will also need each one of the other materials that you might be able to see in my inventory, plus we'll probably need even more. It really does depend what you want to do with the downstairs of this place, but take note of those, grab those if you want them, and once you have those, and once you've figured out where you want to make it, I'll be making it right here. Well, you're going to want to begin your house with a single dark oak wood plank on the ground. So I'm using my slabs to build up planks. So just one dark oak wood plank. I then want to go right of it with 2 birchwood planks. And again, I'm using the slabs just to conserve some inventory space. So 2 planks. 1, 2. Then I'm going to take this right hand birchwood plank and I'm going to extend it towards me by 1. I then want to add a birchwood plank on top of that. I then want to do dark oak fence in front of the 2 planks. I then want to, going left, I want to place a door, except I want to place a door in this fashion. The door wants to be placed inwards rather than outwards. So if we were to place it like this, you can see that it would jolt out forward. However, if you place it backwards, it does not do that. It opens a bit weird, but I still like it. Then, going left of that door, you want to place an upside down dark oak wood stair in this position. The stair will actually be seemingly one row in front of the door like this. It will be in line with the dark oak fence. If you like, you can also throw a flower pot on top of there. We'll be needing that later. Behind the upside down dark oak wood stair, you can place an additional stair. Still upside down, of course. We then want to place in this back corner, behind the birchwood plank that sticks upwards, place an additional dark oak fence. Place a row of white stained glass going right of that fence, and have it curve around to the front of the house where we have the flower pot. Then, place a row of dark oak wood stairs facing towards the left hand side of the house, beginning from the back dark oak wood fence, coming towards the front dark oak wood fence. Extend each one of those dark oak wood stairs across the house until they are even with the glass and the flower pots, leaving a hole in the top of the roof of which you can then climb through if you like. If you want, later on in the house, it's not really required, we can place some stairs here that will allow us to climb up and down the roof. It's really up to you whether you want to add it. What you can also do is, if you want to dig around underneath the house, it will destroy the door, unfortunately, where you can actually see underneath the blocks. So primarily on the front, you might want to dig underneath the house and place a material that looks a little bit nicer, i.e. dark oak wood planks, something like that, and you might want to do the same thing just on that left hand side as well. I'm just going to replace that door that I broke. There we go. That looks a little bit better, doesn't it? As a matter of fact, we might even delete the dark oak wood plank block in the center, and we may replace it with birchwood slabs. I'm then going to extend that slab forwards by 2, 1, 2, and then in the ground, I want to dig left and right of that birchwood slab by 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Then I want to dig each one of those third holes backwards by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I want to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Connect them together at the back, and place in the giant trench that you've just dug out, spruce wood. And this is going to basically just show us where we want to place the birchwood fence, which we're now going to place. So on top of the spruce wood, place some birchwood fence. As a matter of fact, if you like, you can leave the front of the house open on top of the birchwood, on top of the spruce wood. You might just want to leave it a bit open, like this, as not to feel cramped. If you like, maybe you can even just add an additional fence coming in left and right. Kind of up to you, it depends what you like. But there we go. And of course, in doing that, we have once again knocked out the door, which we've placed now for the 3rd time. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we are going to take care of the underground portion of this house. So I'm going to crack open this door, and I'm going to dig into the ground where we have the solitary green grass. I'm going to dig 1, 2, 3. The living space underneath this house is going to be directly below the house. So I'm just going to dig like a 3x3 area here, and I'm going to knock out a wall this way, and I'm going to knock out a wall this way. So this is the direct area underneath the house, and if you want to, you can kind of just place underneath certain blocks, like you can just alter them, like where you might have placed dark oak wood planks to kind of mask the ground up top. You might want to instead just use slabs to kind of give yourself the illusion of more space, but of course we can't place any blocks there, but it just makes it look a bit bigger. So down here is where I'm going to have the primary living space. Plus, we also have to have a way to get out of the house. The primary way is going to be a row of dark oak wood planks here that is going to have ourselves a ladder on them, and this is how we can get up and down the house. So I'm in creative mode at the moment, but we can, in creative, I was flying is what I wanted to say. So we can climb up and down the ladders now, so that's how we can escape the downstairs. But this is where we're going to have most of our stuff. We also want to have an additional escape way, so I'm going to dig here, just left of these ladders. I'm going to dig like 1 and 2. I'm going to dig 1 and 2. And I'm going to dig upwards here where we have this dirt block, and I'm going to break onto the outside like that. I'm going to need some wooden trapdoors because I'm going to use a wooden trapdoor here in this position, and this is going to, actually, I think it'll have to be in this position here. Perfect. And what we're now going to do is we're going to come on the outside, and we're going to, on this right hand side where we have the grass, we're going to dig out the grass, kind of like cut the house in half, like here, kind of like a backwards C shape or a regular C shape, depending on how you look at it. We're going to dig out the grass, and we're going to place some water in here. So we're going to have a nice little water feature on the right hand side of the house, which of course doubles as an entrance to the downstairs part of the house. And you can see the water here in the wall. It might not be that attractive to you, so it's up to you whether you want to fill in the water with, you know, whether you want to fill in the walls with anything, but we can kind of see the water here. It's not that nice to look at, but hey, what can you do? The trapdoor is just so that the water doesn't come down and bleed into the downstairs of the house. And this extra space here on the right, the reason that we dug in this way is so that you can keep stuff in the wall. As a matter of fact, you can kind of like dig out as far as you like, and you can make a big giant underground base. You can make it as big as you like, but we're going to be making this one small. So, to kind of separate the house and everything else, I'm just going to put a door here. So, this is a door that is going to separate all of the water that we can see. As a matter of fact, that water is bugging me, so I'm going to, with my dark oak wood slabs, I'm going to close off, and I might even need the birchwood slabs. I'm just going to close off where I can see the water because I kind of don't like it. There we go, this feels a lot more cavey. Down here, you can kind of place whatever you like. So, if you wanted to, you could have like a bed in this corner. Well, maybe not in that corner, eh? Maybe we'll do another corner. Yeah, I didn't like that corner anyway. So why don't we place the bed in say like this corner? I kind of like the idea of having like a little hidden bed in the wall. And around the place, you can kind of just place things that you might need on a daily basis. A furnace, a crafting table, a brewing stand, that sort of stuff. Just stack them on top of each other, make it look nice. Make sure that everything's stacked in like a good way. I mean, you can have like chests in the walls and stuff, and you can always have like, if you wanted to, like behind me, maybe we could have like a beacon, and you could have something placed underneath the beacon. Something like an ender chest is kind of good because of course you don't have to let it flip open. And you can make the little underground base here as big or as small as you want, as I keep saying. Like, you could keep going that way and that way and that way if you wanted to. You could make the base huge, or you could just keep it confined and just have a small amount of stuff down here that you actually wanted to have, like you may have seen at the start of the video. But that's highly personal, and I don't really want to tell you guys what you should put in your underground base. Up here, we're going to need to get up and down the stairs. We're going to need, first of all, a wooden trapdoor so that we're actually allowed to like walk onto the actual house, like we're allowed to walk onto the floor. And of course, if we ever want to drop down, we just have to open the trapdoor. We're going to put a single ladder, because that's all we'll need, on this wall here, right in the middle of the wall, and that should just allow us to jump up on top of the roof. Wonderful. Outside here, where we have this flower pot, I'm going to put a poppy, just because they're my favourite flowers. And as a matter of fact, whatever you want to do outside here whilst we're talking about poppies, because it just brought me an idea that if you wanted to, you could have like a whole lot of flower bed outside if you liked. Or an additional idea is that you could turn it into a little bit of a farm. So if you wanted to be a bit more like, I don't know, self-sustaining, you've got some water on your land, you could hoe the land, and you could have some seeds growing. Or you could have what I had at the start of the video, and you could just have a nice little piece of grass made up of lime hardened clay and green hardened clay. I quite like that farm now that I'm looking at it, so I'm going to keep it. But if you want to make artificial grass, a nice way to do it is lime hardened clay, green hardened clay, lime hardened clay, green hardened clay, in that pattern, just like that, stuffed into that little area. And I suppose, ladies and gentlemen, that is the house. That's it. There's not much more to it. As a matter of fact, there wasn't much to it to begin with anyway. It's just a really small, great looking house. It's just a nice way to mask a nice underground cave house, and maybe people don't even want to explore this house. Like, if you wanted to have a nice covert house, people probably won't look in this thing. Or maybe they will, out of curiosity, but I mean, they might just look at it and think, there can't be anything in there. But in reality, if you were to actually look down in the underground cave portion of this thing, you might have something that looked like this, or something that looked like this. It completely depends upon what you want to use the actual house for. So, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. If you like this house, if you've made it, I'd really appreciate it if you could give this video a like. I honestly would. I spent quite a bit of time on this house, actually. It's hard to make really great looking small houses, but I think I've managed to accomplish it. And I'm definitely not going to be making a smaller house in the future, because I think that this is about as small as it could possibly get. So please, I'd really appreciate it if you could give this video a like. Comment down below what else you'd like to see next. I'd love to see what you guys want me to make. As you might be able to tell just by looking around in the video. I am working on a couple of things, but I always want to see what you guys want me to make next. Follow me on Twitter at TSMC360. If you make this house, I'd love to see it. Send me a picture on Twitter at TSMC360 or anything else that you've been working on. I get loads of pictures on Twitter and I love seeing them. Subscribe if you haven't already. Check out the cards. Check out the description below. I'll be leaving links to loads and loads of other houses that are like this one and even a little bit different from this one. And if you want to see some examples of those, I can actually take you to some now. So this is my survival village. As you can see, there's a whole range of builds in here. We have a blacksmith, we have that well that's a custom well, we have all sorts of houses. Over there we have a mining hut, over there we have a hill house, and we have a fishing hut as well. And a house that's very similar to this one is this is actually entitled, which is wrong now I suppose, the smallest survival house that I have ever made, but that's now my smallest survival house that I've ever made. So those are just some examples of stuff that I build that are kind of like in a similar vein. This is a nice starter tree house that you might want to build, but I do build loads and loads of stuff on my channel, so much more than this. This is just my survival village. All of these houses have kind of like a similar vibe, but I build absolutely anything that you might be able to think of. So please check out the card system, check out the description below, and subscribe to the channel for even more tutorials on a whole host of different builds. I'm sure that there's something that you'd like. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.